Alright. I think everything's working. But if it's not, I'm gonna keep this anyway. So, Palworld. It has been a while. And by a while, I mean it's been a week, I think. Not gonna waste time in the main menu this time because I have things to say, but I'm not gonna say them while I'm dawdling on the main menu. I actually wrote down what I should say this time. What was that? Oh. That's... Oh, hi. Great, I already lost my train of thought. So it's been a while, a week, I think. Just exactly a week or a day over a week. But stuff has happened. Obviously, I have my share of personal things to deal with. So, future me, none of this is going to mean anything to you because if you're watching this 10, 20 years from now, then all of this will be available to you readily. But, what? A sale? I think that was Dawn of War Definitive Edition. It's on sale. Oh, that's fine. I'm just gonna wait for Dawn of War 4. I already played all the... Well, never mind that. Before I lose my train of thought again. So, again, this might not be relevant to you, future me, because either the first play of Palworld will remain unlisted, or it'll go back to the public uploads. But I should explain why I unlisted it. I was quite upset with what I ended up with. That's really my own fault. And that's why, apart from tending to personal matters, and also taking some time to slowly learn more about audio, I also decided to take a step back from this whole gaming journal thing. And I decided to actually think about this through. Because I felt like, I was going to say at some point, but I felt like in that video in particular, I had sort of lost my way a bit. Which is funny because that's the first video I recorded with me doing a voiceover or quote-unquote commentary, if you can call it this. I'm hungry, let me just eat. Wow, I leveled up from eating. That's great. Alright, I'll do that. I mean, I captured a lamb already, but I'll do that in a moment. So, in the interest of time, I'm gonna try and breeze through this. As of recording this, I unlisted the first play for Palworld 1.0. And I don't know if I'm gonna put it back in the public uploads. Well, you can still watch it. Whether or not I put it back in the public uploads, I'm gonna put a link to this in the description. And that's funny because that video has a link to a live stream that doesn't have my voiceover for the first play. It's funny. That's actually one of the things I want to talk about, but before that, I wrote some guidelines, like actually wrote on a piece of paper for myself to keep here, because I want to avoid what happened in the first play of Palworld. I feel like, for as much as I, not really hate, but for as much as that really displeases me, I am kind of glad that it happened. First of all, it's the first play. So, of course, I'm glad about that. I got to hop into Palworld again. But what I'm really happy about for why that happened is the best way, sometimes the best way to learn is to make mistakes. And that had some mistakes, definitely. So let's go through the list. It's 5 minutes. I have a timer here as well because I can't do this very long. But I do want to have some fun. It's been a week since I last hopped into the game. Since I last hopped into any game, I didn't feel like playing any video game for the past week. That's how caught up I was on things. And I needed some time for myself to do some things, both important and not so important. But now I'm in the right mood, I have the right energy levels, I think this is a good time to do this. Before that, I read some guidelines. I think these are two sets of guidelines actually. Now I'll just read through them. Okay, first thing that I'm going to do moving forward is not talk about the bad recording setup anymore. I'm not going to talk about it as much as I did in the first play of Palworld. And that's what made me unlisted, right? I understand why I did that. Obviously, it's the first time I'm recording myself do a voiceover. Hold on, let me sort this. It doesn't spoil. It's my first time doing a voiceover for my gameplay. And I thought it would be a good idea to just hop in and just start talking. But that's not how you're supposed to do it. If you just want your videos and your whole channel to be a massive info dump, sure, just start talking about whatever. You know, at random points in the video, just start talking and start profusely apologizing to yourself, your future self, for the bad setup. Alright, that's what you want to do for your channel? Fine, but that's not what I want for this channel though. That's not what I want for these videos. This is supposed to be a gaming journal. And again, I get why I sort of hyper-focused on the bad recording setup, because I was upset that I didn't get things to work out the way I wanted to. But here's a question for past me, I guess. Did you really have to keep mentioning the bad recording setup multiple times throughout the video? Like, did you really have to keep bringing it up as if it was going to make things better? Yeah, exactly. So, moving forward, until I can get a more appropriate recording setup, and by that I mean a more appropriate microphone to start doing my voiceovers on, I'll just give two disclaimers. I'll give one spoken or oral disclaimer, or verbal disclaimer rather, in the video itself when I start, and I'll give another one in the description, including this video. Don't kill. Oh, right, I forgot you can't kill him. See? That's why I shouldn't stop playing this game even for 5 days or a week, because I forgot things already. So there, first guideline. Oops. First guideline for myself. I'm gonna stop making the video more depressing or more upsetting than it should be by hyper-focusing on the bad audio quality. Ugh. And that first play wouldn't be unlisted right now if it wasn't for that, because it really did upset me that much. I upset myself that much. You know what? Lesson learned. It already happened. It's a mistake. And and I'm gonna learn from it. I'm making these videos for future me, but if future me was supposed to get some joy in that, then like not all parts of the first play are bad. It's just the parts where I felt like I was hyper focusing too much on the bad recording setup, and also the other things that I don't think I should have said, which leads me to the second guideline that I made for myself. And all of these sound pretty basic, right? Like, if there's any chance that an actual Let's Player stumbles across this and they start hearing the guidelines that I set for myself, they'll be like, yeah, duh. Like, no shit, right? But I've never done this before. So if anyone manages to see this, if anyone stumbles across this and they're hearing this right now, I'm just mentally preparing myself for that. Because I am planning to leave this one public, I'm not going to unlist it. And I do this just to make things more uh, accessible for myself. What was I saying? Alright. So, don't say anything I don't want to hear. Specifically, don't say anything future me doesn't want to hear. I'm just mindlessly grinding right now because I have something important to say. But don't say anything that future me doesn't want to hear. Like me constantly bringing up the bad recording setup. Because apart from that, I am somewhat... Again, I understand why I did this, right? It was the most free form I could be. I literally set no rules or guides for myself as to what I should say and when I should say it. And I think I remember saying this as well, like, I think in the first video I made a point that I'm not gonna try too hard to keep talking, but watching that back, there were some points where I felt like I was trying a bit too hard, just a tiny bit too hard to say, just to have something to say. And some things I really don't think needed to be said. I can't recall all of them, but I want to keep the things I say strictly about gaming, either the game I'm actually playing or just games in general. And if I do end up saying something outside of gaming, like maybe something amusing or maybe a funny story, or maybe I want to talk about a very short rant or I want to vent about something, I'm going to make sure it's very short so as to not, ruin the video like I did for the first play of this. I mean, these videos aren't... I'm still wondering if future me is still going to find some joy in these videos. I think he will. Even if he doesn't, I'm still going to do them anyway, just to be safe. I'd rather do these now and not need them later than need them later, but have never done it. I think I butchered the saying that I was going to use, but just talk about the game itself. Comment on what's happening with the game, and comment on some changes or things that need to be changed, or just talk about video games in general. And if you have to talk about personal stuff, make sure it's funny, at the very least amusing, and if it's neither of those things, if it's like a rant or something sad that's affecting you, just keep it very short. And if you can really help it, just don't say it at all. Alright? So there you go, near future me. help me and far future me by keeping these things in mind. I am going to keep these things in mind. I have a piece of paper, for goodness sake. And obviously there's the list of things not to say, just for the sake of not ruining things for myself and for anyone else who manages to stumble across this. And again, if there's a chance that an actual Let's Player stumbles across this video and starts hearing the things or the guidelines that I'm setting for myself, it's like, wow, really? No kidding. Should have thought of that beforehand, huh? But again, I'm not an actual Let's Player. This is not a Let's Play. I'm recording all of these assuming I don't have an audience, even though the videos are public. And I did see that the previous recordings, the ones that don't have my voiceover, for whatever reason, are getting views. But they're like people watch them for 10 seconds, I think, and then they click away. And I hope if someone watches this, they click away just as quickly, because this is not entertaining to see. I just leave these videos public for my own sake, so that I don't have to worry about not being able to access them if I happen to be watching these on devices that I'm not signed into. Sort that so it doesn't spoil. And cook it as well. And I think there are more things that I should be keeping in mind, honestly, but this is the one, or these are the ones that I thought of at the moment, plus some others. So, what did I say so far? When we're talking about the bad recording, this doesn't count, I'm just reading the guidelines. When we're talking about stuff that you don't want to hear in the future. So as to not make your gaming journal a depressing info dump. Okay, next guideline. I think this is a separate set of guidelines. I don't know why I separated these. Okay. Next guideline. And this is for what I'm planning to do with the videos themselves. Because, like I said, this is my first time recording myself to a voiceover, or I guess you can say a quote-unquote commentary accompanying my gameplay. You know, back when I was doing silent gameplay videos, I didn't have to worry about what I had to say, how I'll sound like. And I really didn't think about how I was going to proceed with the gameplay videos. I thought I would just settle for just recording them as is, not doing any editing or whatever, just record, then upload. But some of that's going to change moving forward. So the first change is this even a guideline at this point? It's more like a channel update, isn't it? For myself? Whatever, I'll just read it. The first change, or guideline, or whatever you call this, is I'm still going to do what I did before. I'm going to try to capture the whole journey unbroken. What I am going to do is cut the video if I do happen to go AFK, because one thing that not really bothered me, but it made me question why I didn't just cut it from the video from the first play of Palworld 1.0 is how I used the out of play transition, or the out of play AFK screen that I used for the live streams. I think the first time I used that was when I was playing Bolt Gun. And it made sense, right? I was live streaming it. I was preserving it in the form of a live stream. So it makes sense to see it there, because you can't edit that, obviously, because it's live. But for these recorded video... What the hell? Can you stop that? No? Okay. Also, you're a pyromaniac, but you don't... Okay. That's fine. Uh... When I go AFK, I'm gonna cut out the... I'm not gonna use the transitions, I'm just gonna cut forward. I'm gonna try to make this whole journey unbroken, but in those situations where I do go AFK, I will just do a simple cut forward. And I'll remind myself to explain why the cut happened. Because if I have to break the gameplay like that, I don't plan to play these without recording. Which I did for, I think, 1 or 2 games. I think for Hope 01, I played off screen. I kind of get it because it is a demo after all, and there wasn't much else to see apart from that one quest. But moving forward, I want to capture like the whole journey of a game from start to end with as little cuts as possible. That means I have to prepare ahead of time, make sure I don't go AFK as often. But if I do, I'll just cut the video and just remind myself to tell my future self why there was a cut. May as well get some experience from these, because they're a capture bonus. I hope the audio is not bleeding through, because that would be insufferable. If I have to listen back to this and I find out the me block effigy. Oh, they changed it! Back then it was a capture bonus of 10. Now, okay, that's one of the updates, I guess, for the faster progression. It's 22 minutes in. Well, 21 minutes and 57 seconds, I think. No, I started the timer late. Actually, 22 minutes in. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Cut the videos as little as possible, and I will explain why I cut them. Alright, second point. Also, adding to that one. If I play a game off camera, I should also remind myself why I did that, and just do a quick summary of what happened off camera. Like what actual Let's Players do. Again, I'm not an actual Let's Player. Which is why I need all these guidelines to begin with, and why it took me one video filled with a bunch of mistakes for me to realize that I probably should have started doing this with some guidelines in the first place. But what am I going to do now? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start following these guidelines. Oh wait, I don't have a parachute. That's right. Ugh. I'm going to try to finish this before the 30-minute mark because I do want to make some progress here. Right, another thing. So, no more silent gameplay videos. I'm sorry, future me, if you still like those. You know what? You can just turn the volume all the way down if you want this to be silent. But I'm not gonna do that moving forward. For as long as I have a functional recording setup, I'm not gonna just play games silently and just upload them as is. Let me just adjust myself here. Yes, this sounds bad. But a bad recording setup is a working recording setup nonetheless. And if it's going to help me capture my thoughts, then it's not going to do a good job at serving its purpose. Oh, that's mine. The bad recording setup's not going to do a good job at capturing my thoughts, but it will get it done. And that's what matters to me. That's the whole point of this. It wasn't until Palworld 1.0 came out where I really tried hard to get something working. But I really should have gotten something working beforehand. Like, the moment I decided to start doing this, I should have gotten something working at least. Even if it was this, like this bad setup that I have right now, it really should have happened. And all those silent gameplay videos that I uploaded should have had some voiceover at least. Speaking of some voiceover, I'm going to emphasize the some part because I'm not going to push myself too hard moving forward to say anything. If I really don't have anything to say, I'm just not going to say anything. Again, this is not a typical Let's Play channel. This is not your professional commentary or whatever. This is a gaming journal. And in order to stop myself from, again, making this a massive depressing info dump, I'm just going to stop myself from talking if I feel like I don't have anything that I would want to hear. And sometimes I do need to kind of lock into the game. I realized this mistake that I think I pointed it out to myself too, but I said, or I asked myself, am I performing badly because I'm trying to do commentary at the same time? A quote unquote commentary? Like, am I not playing the game right because I'm trying to speak at the same time? And the answer is yes. At the time I was questioning it, and I think I had a bit of denial as well. It's like, no, I don't think I would play any better than I would now if I was just doing this silently. But no, that's not true. Because right now, I noticed this. I'm either stopping to talk to get my point across, or I'm trying to do something. Not you again. Or I'm trying to do something, and while I'm doing it, my point is not coming across cleanly. I keep stopping myself, I keep getting sidetracked. So, yes, me talking is affecting what I'm doing. And if I feel like I shouldn't talk, I'm just not gonna talk. So, in lieu of complete, silent gameplay videos where I just don't talk from beginning to end, you can settle for these voiced gameplay videos where I say something, but there is a possibility of long periods of silence. And if you want a silent gameplay video, that's the closest you're going to get from now on, future me. So, again, this is the point. Like, I should be recording my voice and my thoughts if I have them, but I'm not always going to have them. And I'm not always going to push myself to express any random thought just for the sake of expressing it. Okay? Try to keep things mostly on topic, right? This is about games, after all. But with some occasional personal stuff mixed in, maybe some funny stories that'll help brighten my mood in the future. What else did I write down? Let me read through this. I think I wrote down more stuff than I should have. And the pre-play posts, okay. Is that it? I think that's it. And I'm hitting the 30-minute mark, so I should get some progress going. So yeah, let's recap quickly. In the 1 minute I have to recap. No more talking about the bad recording setup because that's just going to depress future me. It depressed the me a day after that video uh, was published. So what more for the me 10 to 20 years from now or so? Let's not say anything that's going to depress myself. That's actually the second point. Don't say anything that you don't want to hear right now or in the future. Okay? Try to document the entire journey of a game. And if you really have to cut things out, be sure to let yourself know. And be sure to inform your future self of anything notable that happened. If you decide to play a game off camera, again, let your future self know through the pre or post play posts. I might change the labels as well because I don't know. Well, no, I think just for the sake of organization, I'm going to keep them for now, but I might think of something else because pre and post play doesn't sound. Well, it depends. Anyway, I'll think of that later. I'm not going to let myself get. I'm not going to push myself to say things. See, even right now when I'm not playing, I'm sort of struggling to get my point across. Because there is no script for this, there's just rough guidelines. I'm not going to push myself to say anything that doesn't need to be said, just for the sake of saying stuff. I'm just going to comment on whatever the situation is currently. Maybe I'll tell a story or some anecdotes about other games I played. Maybe I'll tell, like, I was about to say an out of place story, but I'll tell a real life story if it's amusing or funny enough to me. And again, along with these guidelines that I set for myself, there are, the typical ones that anyone would have thought of when they started, or if they're considering starting something like this. What's the last one? Oh yeah, no more silent gameplay videos. So my videos will have me talking in it, but there could also be these periods of long silence. So in lieu of a full silent, quote-unquote, no commentary gameplay video, you get long periods of silence in between me talking. Which I might do right now, because I need to focus. So where did I leave off? Again, I'm not gonna... I don't know if you're gonna see anything change. It might come back, honestly. Like, I might put it back on public. But how much nutrition do these... Hold on, how much nutrition do berries give? They give 15 by themselves. They give 21 when they're cooked, but that's fine. I don't need that right now. I think what I'll do is get a berry farm set up first, but do I have anyone that can plant? Yeah, the emergency respawn button's still there. That's not it. You can plant... Oh, I need to upgrade the base first. Alright, upgrade it, upgrade it, upgrade it. Now. Oh, a work slave at least. Wait. Easy, no. And you gather. You gather and transport an artisan. Work speed plus 50. Excellent. I lost the point I was trying to make already. Alright, I was trying to summarize the first play. So again, future me. Maybe you won't see any changes on your end, because I might consider putting that video back on public. Yeah, as much as it upsets me. Maybe I'll feel less upset about it as time goes on. But for now, as of recording, it's unlisted, so if there's a chance that it remains unlisted till the end of time, then I'll just explain what happened. So I logged in, I spent 20 minutes, and that's what I said in the beginning of this video. I spent 20 minutes in that first play just explaining my situation about the bad recording setup, about how I should have gotten a microphone instead of a drawing tablet, and I try to make something work, and blah blah blah. Stuff that I don't want to hear anymore, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore. And then I spent some time analyzing or trying to analyze some of the changes that was made pre-release, and no one's building this. Okay, some of the changes that were made on the pre-release, from the pre-release to the full release. And I noticed most of the things stayed the same. There were some obvious improvements. But like you may have noticed when I was placing this down, like there's like an arrow, and I think, hold on. Okay, this one doesn't have it. Like some important buildings that have restrictions for how close they can be to other buildings have this little uh, box now, so that you have a guide for how close or how far you can build them in relation to everything else that you have on base, have in the base. What else did I talk about? I think I told a story about some game that was only the kilobytes or something, because it was, I don't know if AI generated is the right way to describe it. All I know is the developers described the game as it generating assets as you went along. So maybe it is AI generated. But when was this happening? It was happening. No, it was only recently where AI started to get better at things, right? And this was quite some time ago, like a year or two ago. But I already forgot the name of the game, so I guess it doesn't really matter now. It was just an interesting story I shared. And then I talked a little bit about how I don't have a good understanding of how games work, and I especially don't understand how audio works. Which, by the way, not gaming related, but I think it's worth hearing anyway, because you might be proud of me for this, but I did take some time to not really properly study, but I did take some time to, I guess, better absorb the things that these audio related things. Because it's not all new to me. Like, I've seen things like equalizers before. Because back when I didn't know what I was doing, I just messed with the sliders. Because there were apps for this where you can. I don't know if they're equalizers or they're just voice changers or audio editors, but they have a bunch of sliders. They have a bunch of numbers, so I guess it's pretty close. So none of this is. It's not like I'm completely blind to all of this, but I think the problem I had with me trying to learn audio is the same problem I have when I'm trying to learn something new in general. It's because I have a tendency, I don't know why I do this, but I have a tendency to try and absorb as much as I can in as little time as possible. And I guess in that situation it makes sense. I was kind of in a rush. I was losing my patience. I wanted to play Palworld because it's been, I think, the announcement. I played like 3 or 4 days after the game was announced, I think. Or after the game was finally released, the full release. And I was getting increasingly impatient. So, in that situation, I guess I understand why I rushed. But I really shouldn't have, because it's something that I really needed to take in slowly. And again, right, I'm realizing now that, you know, saying these things, I come off as a little bit dumb and a little bit incompetent, which might be true. But I did need to take some time to properly absorb things. And now I have a better understanding thanks to the internet, thanks to the forums, thanks to actual audio files, and tech enthusiasts and people who review uh, audio interfaces and mixers and microphones. I now have a slightly better understanding. I think I've grasped enough of the basics so far. And I don't think I should, but I feel pretty proud of myself for being able to grasp it. Granted, it's a very dumbed down, very simplified understanding of, you know, the concept, but at least I kind of get it now. So that's something. And I was also taking the time to look more at microphones because if I am planning to upgrade from this setup at some point, then obviously I'm going to need to look for an actual microphone. But I didn't understand how different cheap versus good microphones are. I know some obvious things like, some microphones will be made of cheap plastic, premium microphones will be made of all metal. Some of them will have their proprietary software. Some of them will have some extra features on it, like you can use USB and XLR, which, yes, one of the things I figured out, yeah, you go me, right? It's like, I'm already imagining future me as like, wow, you're so incompetent. But at the moment, I'm proud of it, so, you know, just take that, I guess. But I was also taking that time, the week off I spent from playing games, to look more into microphones. And I needed to look for one that best suit my needs, and more importantly, something that I'm going to stick with for a long time. Because I don't plan to keep buying replacement tech, right? But times are kind of rough, right? And I don't have the luxury of buying new electronics like every few months or so. So I needed to look for something that was, still reasonably priced. Again, I'm not gonna buy the premium microphones because I happen to see, because there's this one microphone, I believe it's the Shure SM7B, and who's I didn't know microphones could be that expensive. Like, it's crazy. It's almost like it's just slightly cheaper than a decent graphics card. And I don't know if that's gonna make sense to anyone but myself, but or even a decent processor for that matter. It's like, dude, microphones are expensive. I mean, I guess people do care a lot about audio, right? And there's a lot of audio files out there. It's about like if you're a podcaster, for example, or you have your own radio show or something like that, then yeah, that stuff would be really important to you. But a part of me was like, what made that so expensive? It's like, really, for a microphone? So I knew I needed to dial my, I guess, expectations back because I wasn't going to get that. And I believe that the particular microphone, the SM7B, you need to be very knowledgeable in audio to begin with for you to make very good use of that. Just based on what I've heard, right? Like, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to set it up properly, you don't know how to equalize, you don't know how to use EQ, you don't know what compressors are or whatever, then you might have a hard time and you might really regret your purchase, or you might spend hours on it looking online, figuring out how to make it work. But as a beginner, as someone who's not very knowledgeable for this, as someone who is more on the plug and play side of microphones for now, I am interested because I did read about it, and maybe sometime after I get the microphone, I will get like a budget friendly audio interface as well, just to see how that is, because I believe, what the hell is that sound? Because I believe that is better than just using USB. Like, it bypasses a bunch of the problems that some people tend to have with USB microphones. But that'll have to wait. Anyway, I was looking around, and I think I've narrowed my choices down to two microphones. Now, wouldn't you know it, it's the two microphones, well, two of the most popular budget microphones that are being reviewed. I think reviews for them are still coming out to this day. I think one of them had a refresh, or not a re-release, because I believe it was not even properly announced. It was only people who were working with the company that were in the know of the updates, but I've narrowed my choices down. At least that's what I think, because there's more to microphones. Obviously, there's more to microphones than I thought, because I didn't have a good understanding of how different cheap versus expensive microphones are, apart from the materials that are used and obviously the branding. I believe Shure is a top brand, like audio brand. Like it's around the. I don't know if it's accurate to say this, but it's around the same level as other companies like Audio Technica and Sennheiser are. Like when it comes to their, I know Sennheiser has some really expensive peripherals as well. Like their headphones can range, like it's a almost as expensive as. I'm gonna stop making price comparisons because I still don't have a very good understanding of that. I know some of the basics for audio now. I like to think I do anyway, but what was the point I was making? Oh yeah, I didn't have a good understanding of how cheap versus expensive microphones are different. And there are some considerations as well, because some microphones are built differently. I didn't know that microphones can be made to make you sound like ever so slightly different. Because there are these things called lows, mids, and highs. Apparently some microphones can emphasize certain parts of those, and others, like ideally, if you want the most accurate capture of your voice, like nearly one-to-one, you probably want a microphone that's like built to be capturing things more on the neutral side. I think that's how it goes. Either that or you can just mess with an equalizer, I guess. Again, I'm a beginner. You know, I'm as amateur can get. I said this in the first play of Palworld 1.0. See, I'm losing. I'm just aimlessly wandering again. It's 47 minutes and I'm still talking. Hmm. Just shut up. Shut up, me. Just play the game, right? But I do want to get this point across. Oh, that's cool. There's a little tooltip now. I didn't even realize that. When you quick stack, there's a tooltip that shows you a tooltip, or there's some graphics on screen that show you all the items that you quick stack, so that's neat. Nice little quality of life update there. How's my party? In the 6 and 7s. Okay. What I want to do now for this... Where's the map? There it is. What I want to do now is actually go out and check that village. I guess I'll look at the shield first. I'll build the shield and then I'll build a parachute. I think what was I talking about? Okay, the microphones, was it? I narrowed my choices down to two microphones. I don't know which one I'm going to get yet because there are some differences between them that I don't know are even going to matter for my particular use case. Uh, but from what I've learned from myself, from my own video, that I shouldn't be taking things too quickly. Should be doing things without thinking first. And I need more time to think than I realized. Take a sip of water. Oh, let me mute myself. Let me start this. Let me mute myself. Alright, all tapped out just to make sure I actually muted myself. That's another thing. It's more of a luxury right now, but a second monitor would be handy, so I don't have to keep all tapping out. You know, just just thinking about all the things that I'm now suddenly considering getting. That's another thing. I never once considered that I would need a second monitor just to check things. But I guess now I do, just to save myself the trouble of repair all, I guess. Just to save myself the trouble of having to alt tab out of games. Because in Palworld in particular, I don't know if it's for all games. I think Bolt Gun didn't have this problem, like, or did it? No, I think it did as well. I guess that's just for all games, right? When you alt tab out, there's a brief flicker on the screen that shows when you tab out. It's not the biggest deal in the world, I guess, but for me, it kind of is a big deal. I mean, I tend to make big deals of a lot of things, like my mistakes, but that is something else I'm considering. If if I wasn't facing a bunch of problems right now, I would probably get a second monitor. Then I would have a new problem of where to set it up because my desk is really cramped. That drawing tablet is still here, and I haven't gotten around to putting it away. I still have that box. I just need to... And it's still wrapped in its original... what is this? Not a casing. I guess the most appropriate way to describe this is a sleeve. It's still wrapped in its original sleeve with instructions on it on like who to contact for support or whatever. Like, sidetracked again. Don't say anything that you don't want to hear. I mean, that wasn't bad to listen to. It was just kind of useless, wasn't it? It's almost an hour. I said I would only play this for an hour, and it's almost an hour, and I spent that time talking. Just, just blah 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 blah. There's just so much things to say. So where am I going, and what am I doing? Equip a common shield. I don't even have... I feel like, for these things, like if this is going to be part of a main quest, I don't know why they wouldn't just unlock that for you by default, because you do have the option of going through the game without ever unlocking it. But then that means you don't complete the quest. What am I doing? Oh yeah, the shield. Just have enough? Hey, looks like all that mindless grinding wasn't for nothing. Maybe that's what I'll do. If I feel like I'm gonna go on a tangent, I'm just gonna go out and mindlessly harvest resources. Right, so there's the shield. What about the parachute? Well, at least I have a lot of technology points. You know what I should have done? I should have read the changelog again to confirm whether or not what I'm seeing are actual changes or if I'm just making things up. Because I think this is an actual change that they made. Like, I don't remember... I could be wrong about this again, but I don't remember progression being this quick early game. Like, I remember having to grind a little bit to do this. Again, I could be misremembering things. A bat, sure. Get a bat. A monitor stand? Well, no, that's not going to be useful right now. Another berry plantation, maybe. Because these guys are just idling. Like, they can afford. Like, they have the extra energy. Besides, we're going to need that. I don't want to keep making berry farms, though, because I do have a preference for other things here. What does it take? Okay, so 9 is the hot spring. And to even get proper defenses, we need to be level 8. Statue of Power, level 9. We need to be level 10 for the furnace. Okay, flame organ. I think... What was that pal's name? Oh, wait, what? Oh, I didn't even catch one of these guys yet. Saw Mamrus though, but what was that other one? The Vulpix clone. I'll figure it out. 9 for the hot spring. The metal chest would be nice because it has a lot of space in it. Level 50? Oh, and the beginner fishing. Beginner fishing set. So to even get wheat and process wheat, we need to be level 15. That's unfortunate. We're going to have to subsist on berries for a while, after all. But I am level 7. And progression felt pretty quick so far, so that won't be a problem, I think. I can cook the berries. You know, just to get more out of them. Quick stack. No duplicate items in chest. Pick up a parachute. Where is that? Oh, there it is. I just unlocked it. Oh, he's out. Oh, that's fine. Come out. I don't bring you out too often. I mean, I'm not dying for that much food or anything. It's just... don't want to feed you. Alright, this food is mine. So what was I thinking of? I mean, I can go for another hour. It's fine. I say that now. But then I'm going to be tired later when I wake up because I spent so long playing Palworld. Oh. I still remember how tired I was when I decided to revisit Space Marine 2. And I decided to play through, I think it was Disruption and Purgation, like back to back. And I didn't have time to sleep after that at all. Like, I had fun playing the game at least. What? But I don't want to repeat what I did for that video when I revisited Space Marine 2. I don't want to keep playing. So, like, as fun as games are, they do require energy. Right? And I'm just lucky I happen to have the energy to do this now. I'm also lucky that I happen to be in a pretty good mood, because I think that's another thing that I hated about the first play of Palworld 1.0. So I think I was seeing a little bit of my grumpiness and a little bit of my bitterness. Well, not a little bit, like a lot. I mean, for goodness sake, I spent like multiple points in that video. I felt the need to keep talking about the bad recording setup, but I have to remind myself not to. And that's good that I took a week off from playing games, honestly, because the past week has not been nice. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to elaborate on the situation, but I didn't feel like playing games at that point. Like, it was. It felt that bad to me. Like, there are some things that video games can help me with and cheer me up from, but, some things are just too important and too depressing, I guess. That if I decided to play games at that point, I wouldn't play the game properly. I would just, I don't know what I would do. I would just sulk throughout the whole thing. May as well get some wood right now. I can unlock these two, but I'd rather not. From what I remember, those two things, like the logging and the mining station, yeah, they're a good infinite source of materials, but if you don't have a hot spring, then you're going to stress your pals out a lot, and until I can get hands on medicine, that's not going to be something that I can deal with. Because that's the thing I didn't forget about this game. It's the fact that your pals can actually get depressed. I don't want to... Oh, that's new, I think. A wooden pillar. Oh, right. Something I do want to do. See, I'm going to talk about something related to the game now. I mean, I have been, but this is something more worth talking about, I think, because it's not just me telling the difference between the pre-release and full release. But I am planning to abandon this at some point. This is a very temporary base. I mean, I'll do the same thing I did during the pre-release, but now I'm going to do something... Well, I'll do the same thing in the sense that I'll build a temporary base first just to get some stuff set up, but I'll build a more permanent base later on. Maybe... I have to do that thing again. Because I remember in the pre-release I did a circle around all the land masses. Oh, whatever, that's fine. We'll see. It'll give me a chance to see if they changed anything about the oceans in this game, because that's something I felt like was pretty lacking. Like, the oceans felt a bit too empty for me. But then again, how could you make large bodies of water more interesting here in this game? Like, maybe... Because random encounters in the ocean, that doesn't sound very fun. But I am thinking of building a water base, because that's something you can do apparently. And apparently it's something that a lot of people have been requesting. I mean, I didn't even think of that. Like, I mean, it is a pretty cool idea though, like building a water base. You know, if RimWorld is gonna have water bases, which... Hold on, let me just sort this so it doesn't expire. RimWorld has water bases. It's kind of irrelevant, but I just felt the need to mention that. It is locked behind the DLC, I believe. The Odyssey DLC. Which I don't feel like I'm gonna buy, honestly. I mean, I love RimWorld. I have 1,000 hours on it for a reason. And I did love the game enough to buy ideology and biotech, but I don't feel like getting royalty, and I don't feel like getting Odyssey. Oh yeah, Anomaly. I also bought Anomaly as well. 1,000 hours in that game. And Palworld's gonna catch up. So, because I have things that I want to do here. And I do have this tendency when I play games. I tend to not like it when I'm approaching the end. And I think that's the same for series as well. Let me stop myself. Try to keep this on topic here. I already went off topic multiple times. Let's see, I need more PAL spheres in case I run into something I want to keep. I do have 2 PALs that I'm very excited to see though. I already thought of what I'm gonna do, for absolutely no reason other than being shamelessly biased. I'm just gonna put them in my base and not make them work. I just give them no tasks at all. I'll do that, and I might even keep one in my party. Like, it could be detrimental to me to just keep them around, because maybe I could fill that slot with someone more useful, but, you know, it's about having fun, and that's how I like to have fun, making questionable decisions in games. How am I doing? Arrows, I have a bow, remember to use that. But I will need to repair that off, and if I keep using it. Not really an issue of cost, it's just I have to keep going back here. Calcium fragments. I'm gonna refrain from picking up PAL eggs for now because I don't have the storage for that. What do I... I have to beat Zoe to get the egg incubator? The older flag, obviously, you need to... You know, before you can have bragging rights and you can shit all over their faction, you need to beat them first. So I get that. I don't know how I feel about that change. Or is that even a change? I think... I might be wrong, but you could unlock this without beating Zoe, right? In pre-release? Like, future me. I don't know why I'm asking future me, he wouldn't know this. Past me, if by any chance you're gonna reach through the past and remind me, and I'll just ask you this right now. Could you get this without beating Zoe in pre-release? Because if you could, then this is a pretty shitty change. Because I can imagine people walking around picking up a bunch of PAL eggs and then running out of storage because they have so many PAL eggs. Because there's nothing else you can do with those, right? Like, you can sell them, you can keep them, you can hatch. I know that sound. I know that sound. Who's that? Shining, shimmering splendor. I can't see where you are. Please come out. It's getting louder.
Yeah. What? Oh.
It sounds like it's right next to me. There it is. What is that? It's a lucky lamb ball. And he's strong. Oh my. Oh, new soundtrack. Ow! Oh yeah, that's right. There's this new dodge animation. Might be a lucky lamb ball, but you're still just a lamb ball. That's a new stat, I think. Also, Ancient Civilization parts, that's nice. Applied Ranching Handbook. A rare book written about the secrets of farming. Allowing a pal to read it permanently increases their farming affinity by 1. Oh yeah. There are these books now that can increase pals' affinity for certain things. So you can bump this up to level 2. But you could do that? Well, I guess that's okay too. Because I remember you can do this pre-release as well. I think by feeding them like copies of themselves. Like if you keep feeding a lamb ball enough lamb balls, then they'll just upgrade their work skills. I think that's how it went anyway. Yeah, I think that's it. Because the statue... Wait, no. No, 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 no. You feed them... You feed them other pals of the same species to increase their partner skill. That's what it was. And then the statue, where you offer the souls, increases their other stats. Hold on. Like this. Attack, defense, work speed. But it doesn't raise work suitability. That's right. So if you wanted someone with farming level 2 that also produces well, you needed to get a new pal for that.
Yeah.
Oh, so soon I found the lucky lamb ball. I am in a place with a bunch of lamb balls, so that makes sense. But the question is this lucky lamb ball going to be the new Lamb of God? Probably not. Okay, I do have the glider equipped. It's called a glider because... Oh, let me mute.
What? Yeah.
I think I can still hear it. Hold on, let me alt-tab again. Ugh. I think it could still be heard through the mic, but it's fine. It's not as loud as it was just a second ago. A truck was passing by just honking up a storm. I was gonna say, finally, the quest came up. Now I know where that village actually is. Because I think what I was looking at this whole time wasn't even the village. No, it was one of the bosses. Or mini-bosses, I guess. Is this just the same? Finished all the tasks displayed on your device. According to the lone surviving surveyor, there's a settlement close to the Rain Syndicate Tower. Once you find it, try talking to their chief to learn more. Is this the one that was in the other forest? Like, the one with the yellow... That one? I think it is. Oh, you got me all excited. I thought it was a new place with new people that I can pester. Um, No, that would be a waste. You can use this on a lower level PAL, like a basic, like starting area PAL, and get more uh, produce out of them. But I think I'm gonna hold off on that. I think it would be better used for one of the mid to late game PALs that also produce things. You know, something I wish that they did, especially for the structures that store items. I wish they showed you the storage capacity so that you don't have to waste technology points just to unlock it. It's just 1 point. Sure, but wouldn't it be nice to know what you're spending your points on? Obviously a barrel, but a barrel that can hold how much stuff? This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think the metal chest had double the amount of storage, right? This 50 is too much. Something I learned is that you don't have to spend too much
Yeah.
resources on building these basic PAL spheres. Because if you start progressing quickly, then I mean you can still use them, right? If you're really gonna rely on luck, you're gonna count on that 0.01% capture chance, then yes, you can use them on the mid to late game pals, but it's best to save these resources, these fragments for other things. I believe you also need them for pal specific items. Obviously, it's called Paldium fragments. Alright, it seems like I think there's just not enough work for these guys. I think I'm gonna build another berry plantation. Well, no, I changed my mind. Let's see. I mean, when I first started this game, but in pre-release, obviously, not the full release, but when I first played this game, I was heavily reliant on berries because of how easy they were to produce. It wasn't until much later that I realized you can get so much more out of actual meals, ideally ones made with meat. Stop working and there's nothing else to do. Okay, I think everyone is leveled up. Hold on. A crusher hanging trap. This was amusing, but I never found much use for it. Unless they changed how that worked. Hold on. Only effective on small pals and humans. Okay, but what are the chances that someone's gonna walk through that? Like, you'd have to bait them into it. You'd have to funnel them into that trap, but that's just not worth it. Just shoot them at that point. Uh, Arrows, I guess. I had 100 arrows, right? Did I spend 30 arrows on that guy? Or 20 or so arrows? That's too much. You know what? Cancel that. Sort it. Now come out. There's actually something to do. Oh yeah, while you're doing that, take a look at my new friend. Wait, see. Oh, okay. Just switches between the active skills and the description. I don't know. As amusing as Fluffy Shield is, I don't think I would use it unless I was in serious trouble. Oh, okay, hold on. lucky. So yeah, I think the old Lamb of God, like the Lamb Ball I had pre-release, was a lucky Lamb Ball. Attack plus 15%, defense plus 15%, work speed plus 20%, defense plus 20%, heavyweight, immune to knockback. And he has the upgraded work suitability for farming. Okay. Oh, he has 1 star already. So is that going to be a thing for Lucky Pals now? They'll either have 1 star, just as is when you catch them, or they'll have a certain number of stars depending on their level, I guess. But this is nice. So with that, there you go. It's a bit too big, but he is a heavyweight after all, so I guess that checks out. Mind form and diet lover. Workaholic. I don't understand why this is still a thing. Oh wait, can you use the books to give them work suitability for mining? I don't think so, right? You can just use the books to upgrade work that they already have. See, I should have read the change log. It's like 1 hour and 21 minutes so far, and I still haven't visited the village like I planned. If I'm wrong about this and you can only, or if I'm right about this and you can only use the books on pals that already have that work skill to begin with, then this is still kind of useless, and I wish this was changed. That's what I didn't like about pre-release Palworld, is that some pals, for whatever reason, can get traits that don't mean anything to them. Wellness Watcher. Stamina consumption minus 5%. 30% increased movement speed on water. Okay, but I'm not going to take you out to the ocean, like why would I do that? Master of Fasting. Hunger decreases 20% slower. You know what? Sure. How many more can I have here? How much? I need a pallet gear workbench. Well, that's fine. I don't need to do that right now. But what are some... The bat, the poison arrow, but that's a flame organ as well. Maybe I do need more arrows, just another set of 20 arrows. And then I'll fix all of this. And I'll help you as well. Oh, I should put this away because I do have... Yeah, I need to put this away. I do have drop all items on death. I didn't die that often in pre-release. And I'm not sure how much of that is going to change here, but just in case. Souls as well. What do I need again? 13. I need to be level 13. It's fine. I'll finish this quest. I'll be 13 in no time at all. If I can finish the quest in 30 minutes at least. Uh, what? Oh, hold on a second. Let me glug some water. Go on mute again. Oh god, why did I do that? Why didn't I check its level first? I forgot this thing was level 16. I even saw it in the first play. Why did I do that? Ba 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 da ba da ba. It's mine now, at least. Oh my god. Maybe I should add a new guideline for myself. Don't try to play while you're drinking water, because you don't know what the hell you're gonna do. Out of space. These PAL-related items need their own dedicated storage. Okay, I'm glad you got that sorted out. Am I still on mute? No, I'm not. The alt tab out just in case. Level 9. Ah, if only time wasn't an issue. I do have a timer here. It's at 1 hour, 27 minutes. Ah. How long was that first play? 2 hours and 37 minutes? I'll try not to... I gotta keep things going here. I guess that's another thing to keep in mind. I shouldn't try to rush these things. Like, in addition to keeping the whole unbroken journey throughout a game, I am trying to keep in mind that I shouldn't be rushing these things. Because if I do, like with me trying to learn things, if I end up rushing it, start taking shortcuts and taking really dumbed down... I haven't caught one of these yet, right? If I just settle for these really basic and quick explanations, or if I try to absorb something too quickly, it starts being stressful for me, and I think games will stop being fun for me if I start rushing through them just so I can make the most use out of the free time I have. Because I do like to take these games slow. I think I mentioned that in the description for the first play. Again, future me, if it's not in the public uploads, like by the time you start watching this stuff again, then I will leave a link to that in the description of this video. So if you want to see it, I don't recommend that you see it because it's not that fun to watch. In fact, it's actually quite unpleasant because of how... What's the right word? How much of a downer I was I guess. But yeah, if you do want to see it for whatever reason, I'll leave a link in the description. When you faint, you'll drop some of the items you were carrying. I know. I had that problem several times in pre-release. But a pillar of light will mark the spot, so you can easily find them. I know that too. Oh, see? This is the mistake I made when I did my Undermire first play. The demo for it anyway. I wasn't paying attention to the dialogue options, and I just kept closing the dialogue, not realizing that the characters had more to say. Next, you can pick up your items by touching any part of the pillar. If you use a flying pallet to reach it from above, you can safely retrieve them. Keep that in mind. Hmm. I do remember that in the changelog. I think specifically Jet Dragon, because I guess, well, having my own Jet Dragon pre-release, I did feel like the base stamina that he had was kind of low for, you know, how fast he can move and how much fun you can have with him, because he is, I believe he was the fastest flying POW, and still is, I believe. Maybe maybe not as fast as whatever that new quote unquote legendary PAL is. But pre-release he was the fastest. And it wasn't fun to use him because he kept running out of, well, I mean it was fun to use him. It was fun to ride him, but he kept running out of stamina. Even if you had a trait that increased his stamina by 50%, I think it still wasn't enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The feathers of this pal have all but disappeared, but sadly its desire to fly has remained as strong as ever. Even now, it tries to fly again in any way it can. This is the one that you can put in a rocket launcher, right? Did they rewrite that description? Just for that? Because I don't remember all of their descriptions. I remember Lamball at least. Because it was funny when I first read it. He's so bad. I keep saying he, but it's so bad at well, speak of. It's so bad at surviving that it literally. Okay. They can make the ocean more interesting. I mean, this was just sediment in pre-release. Now there's coral. Oh, and one of those. Ay, ay, ay. Fold this. The guideline sheet that I have is blocking the screen. I propped it up so I could read it. Oh no, you were in pre-release as well. I remember this. Lag. I'm lagging for whatever reason. You're a new face. Don't tell me. An outsider? Not that it matters to me. Now that you're on this island, why not try and catch some pals? You can get extra XP for capturing up to 5 of the same kind. You know what they say, Pal tamers get stronger the more pals they capture. That's a saying here? Okay. Here, take this. I got high hopes for you. Thanks, I am the protagonist after all. Oh, are you an... oh, I'm hungry. Oh, are you an adventurer? Perfect timing. Could you I'm not going to do that voice. Could you deliver this special dish to the settlement nearby for me? Give it to the super dependable looking one. You'll recognize him right away. What? Why don't I take it myself? Well, it's just that the dish smells so good that pals keep swarming me. I can't get anywhere near the place. Yeah, this was in pre-release. I had to bring some forgettable security guard, I think, his lunch. So please, I'm counting on you. Just make sure the pals don't eat it on the way. Okay, no, I can't eat it. I was about to say, can I eat it? Liftmonk effigy. Collect Liftmonk effigy and offer them to a statue of power to improve your ability to capture pals. Gotta keep the weight in mind. I think... No, I don't think... I have an increase... Oh, is it because of this? Oh yeah, it's probably it. I usually don't pay too much attention to these chests. I only cared about the dungeon loot chests. Oh, but... Well... Just eat my own words there, I guess. Like, I don't care about these chests, yes. I only care about the dungeon chests. Turns out that one had medicine. That's gonna be useful, actually. Where are the alpaca pals? Are they... Have they been moved? Oh. Well, it's fine. From what I remember, they also spawn up ahead, don't they?
What?
Megasphere, nice. I mean, for now, as a beginner, they're nice.
Oh.
No, not now. Herbal. What is that? What is that? I think Herbal is pretty cool. Didn't he have, like, level 2 farming or something? I might be mistaken, but... Clovey...
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, I killed it. That's... Some individuals once had 3 or more leaves on their foreheads. Regarded as symbols of good fortune, those with more leaves were heavily hunted, leading the species to evolve fewer... leading the species to evolve fewer leaves over time. Okay. 4-leafed clover type of pal. 1 planting and 1 gathering. Oh yeah. Sorry, Gummoss, I know who's taking your place. I was about to yell at Daydream. It's like, you killed it! It's like, no, I killed it. I forgot. He can't get pals down to 0 HP. So that was my doing. My bad. Okay, that's the first time that happened, I think. When in doubt, punch it till it works. That's Herbal's approach to fixing things. With strength perfectly tuned for humans, sometimes just 1 punch is enough to restart a stopped heart. Or pulverize it. Ah, so they changed this. I think this was in the change log as well, but I skimmed over it. They made it so dungeons are more noticeable, I think. So they gave them this glow as an indication that they were open as well. Level 13? No. I could use a mount, honestly. What were they called? Melpacas? The pink alpaca pals that you could... that many people, I'm assuming, got as their first mount. Okay, the rivers still look kind of empty, but there is some stuff here. At least the oceans have been decorated somewhat. Rushore, I think that's what his name was. His. Why do I keep saying his? But they have mining, right? Also, they're both fighting. Hmm. Wait, don't get in their line of sight. But I hear something. I gotta remember, I can bring another pal out if I really need the assistance. Hello. The one who brought me much joy.
What?
In pre-release. Which is funny, considering what he is.
Yep.
Oh! Okay, help. Oh no, you're poisoned. Oh, come back. Yes. It has few friends because of the perpetually grouchy look on its face, but it is in fact kind-hearted. Some have seen it feeding Vixie who have strayed from their pack. Oh, he's a coward though, that sucks. But at least he's lucky. There you go, first depresso. What level am I? Level 10. I can get the hot spring now, and also the tropical and the tundra outfits. Hmm. I am approaching 2 hours. So I think I'll just do the quest and then I'll go back to the base for now. And upgrade the gear. Did they increase the rate of... No, it's just a Cativa, whatever that is. Did they increase the rate of Lucky Pals? Yeah, this is the same settlement. Yeah, I just approached it from a different direction, so... Oh, it's that thing. Totally not Eevee. Oh, you're not from around these parts, are you? Welcome to our humble village. We may be a small settlement, but feel free to stay for as long as you'd like. And don't be startled by the various pals you may see. They've all been domesticated. We humans have lived in peace and harmony with the pals on this island. It's funny because I bet not too far from here, there's a black market dealer that is selling pals on the black market, but okay, whatever you say. Rumor has it that a massive disaster once brought them to the edge of extinction long ago. But who said hey? Does that pique your interest? I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this voice, it kind of hurts. In that case, you would do well to seek out the World Tree. And there's our quest. Ah, apologies, that might require some further explanation. Okay, yeah. I'm referring to that massive tree off in the distance. That's why they call it the World Tree. Because you can see it across the entire... No. A legend says that should you reach the World Tree, you will find the truth behind all there is to know about these islands. Another claims that a source of limitless power lies within. I bet there's a ridiculously overpowered pal in there. Like, I bet God lives in that tree. Like, your version of God, anyway. There are plenty more myths surrounding it, but I presume you get the idea. Yeah, it's just myths. Rumors. Either way, I'm afraid to say that I don't know what you might actually find there. Right? I've heard that Rainy? That the Rain Syndicate boss may be the person to ask, but by all accounts, he's been missing for quite some time now. Oh, right. Wasn't that a whole plot point with Zoe that was part of the pre-release, was that she had her own little side quest where... No, it wasn't the side quest, it was the random journal entries that you found all over the world. Some of them were Zoe's, I believe, and she talked a little bit about... Not sure if it's a mentor, per se, like someone she looked up to, the previous boss of the Syndicate, right? So that guy's more relevant now, it seems. The Rain Syndicate is an armed group that set up base at that tower and currently rules over the surrounding area. At present, their acting head is the leader's daughter. Yep. Oh, the leader's daughter. Zoe, okay. Either they changed that or I skimmed through the journal entries in the pre-release, because I don't remember that being the relationship between the two. I thought it was just a teacher-student thing. Though, judging by how unruly the rest of the members are, I do question how much order has actually been established. Didn't you just say that you learned how to live in harmony with pals? In any case, I would say that their tower holds some of the answers you seek. But if you insist on paying it a visit, you do well to prepare for the worst. I've beaten her before, it's fine. A pal tamer, but how knowledgeable are you about pal gear? Simply put, certain pals can be equipped with tools or equipment that enhance their natural skills, making them even more reliable partners. Right? I know that. And this would be the perfect opportunity to put one to the test. Fox
Hey.
Sparks. That was the name. The Vulpix clone. Fox Sparks. Oh, Fox Sparks like to build their dens close to the tower.
Huh.
If you manage to secure one, do try your hand at crafting a Fox Sparks harness, which I never used in pre-release. It was amusing, but I never put it to much use in battle. I much prefer, like, unless it's something hilariously overpowered like Jet Dragon's Missile Barrage,
Huh.
or what was the other one? Relaxorus and their Missile Barrage, then I tend to not use these uh, PAL abilities. I'd much rather have something else fighting alongside me. It's a rather nifty item that allows you to carry a Fox Sparks
Hey.
around, much like a living flamethrower.
Hmm.
Again, they learned how to live harmony with pals. What's your definition of harmony exactly? With such unparalleled firepower, who would dare stand in your way? It's not that strong. I suggest you experiment with various pal gear before heading to that tower. Or
Hey.
I could just level up to 30 and beat the boss, normally. Like, isn't Zoe like level 20 or something? And on that note, I ought to return to work. May fortune follow you, friend. My friend. Capture a Fox Sparks, unlock the Fox Sparks harness technology to craft it at a Pal Gear workbench.
Hmm.
And I think that was the same in pre-release, except now they gave some exposition on top of it. Like that was a quest that you got for no explanation whatsoever. Now there's an actual, not really a reason, but there was build up as to why you have to do that.
Hey.
Hello, Pikachu ripoff,
Huh.
Wandering Merchant. Welcome, I've got some good items in stock, do you? Oh, hardwood, high quality wood carefully selected from sturdy trees grown in harsh environments such as deserts, volcanic regions, and snowy mountains. Okay, yeah, the bait. I remember the bait. Yeah, instead of. So I understand. Not understand. I remember now why it is I kept farming gold. This was one of the reasons to get a steady supply of organs. It sounds wrong. No name? Your eyes are no ordinary
Hey.
ones. A gaze sharp as that of a hunter. Truly remarkable.
Huh.
I have a task I wish to entrust to someone of your skill. I'm just level 13, I think. The mad ones who disturb this land, and the horrors that have overrun it. I ask that you hunt them down. Rest assured I do not ask for free labor. A fair reward will be properly prepared for you. Once you have finished the hunt, return to me once more. What's your name?
Hey.
Just a veteran hunter? Okay. Apologies, I didn't see your name floating above you. It was a bit too high.
Yeah. Huh. Hey.
Welcome, haven't seen your face before. Did you come from far away? Must have been a long journey. Take your time and rest up. Well, I can't. I mean, I can emote to pretend like I am, but...
Oh.
Depresso? House in stock. No funny business and only legit trading. Guaranteed. Ah! Farmhand. Logging foreman. See, you must be able to give them new work skills, right? Because that's a weird thing to keep in the full release. Just pals that can't do certain types of work, having skills specifically for that line of work. That's... No, it's okay. 7 grand.
Hmm.
I'll just get a Nightwing myself with Arrogant Pal Critic. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Alright. Back from the cut. Oh, let me check if I'm muted. No, I'm not muted. Okay, thank God. Alright, back from the cut. Stood up, take a piss, ran out of some water, went to get some more. So there you go, future me. There's your context. I'm gonna have to get used to that. I almost switched to the out of play transition screen again. Like the AFK screen that I used for the live streams that I did. I'm gonna have to get used to not doing that for these normal recordings. Jolt Hog. And I don't need one of those right now. And if there's a chance that I do want to get my hands on, what was that? A Cremis or a Vixie before I head back. And a Foxbarks, of course. Like something that can help me cook and smelt back at home. Done. There's a cook. What level do I need to be again? Oh, I can already unlock it. Okay, good.
Oh. Hip. Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Am I wrong? Like, this place has, like, Cremis and Vixie spawn here, don't they? Maybe they're just rare. Because that's something I have to keep in mind as well. They did say in the changelog that they changed the spawn locations for some of... What?
Hip. One. Hip. Yeah. Hip. 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 Yeah.
So much for not needing one right now. Yeah. Level 11 already. It releases the electricity stored in its body when under attack. The voltage it generates exceeds 10 million volts, making it more lethal than any conventional. Okay. I thought it was fast enough, but. Oops, all tapped out. I thought it was fast enough, but. Let me read that properly. It releases the electricity stored in its body when under attack. The voltage it generates exceeds 10 million volts, making it more lethal than any conventional heavy firearms when thrown. Like, actually, like, it just says throw this thing. It's meant to be thrown. When activated, it equips Jolt Hog to the player to be thrown at an enemy, causing an electric explosion upon impact. So it's not like Toko Toko, right? Or whatever that uh, bird thing is that suicide bombs. Like, you can have you can throw them, but that won't kill Jolt Hog. Anyway, I didn't even get to see. I didn't even get to see the stats that one had. I know it's lucky, obviously, but what was the other one? I'll just look back at it later. Back on it, rather. Was that another shimmering sound? Oh, that was a mistake, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
They changed the gun sound effects. Oh no. I can't see Daydream. A farmhand? Oh, yeah, the bounty tokens. There you go. So no Kremis or Vixie around here, so I think they did change it. But that's kind of like just one POW roaming around here. Just this Jolt Hog. That's it. Low quality meds. That's good. I think meds are not super hard, but heck. Oh no, it's a water egg. I don't think meds were super hard to make, but it's better to just find them or buy them, I think. Oh my god, I gotta be careful or else I'll die. I didn't even give the thing. Oh well, one more reason to go back, I guess. I mean, I should have talked to the citizens more. Ribbony? Well, I know where to find that at least. I don't care much for Ribbony. Is that it? No, it's not an eagle statue. What is that? There's the wildlife reserve. Eh. I didn't have much use for you either. I think... So Celery's special skill was... Well, in pre-release anyway. Their special skill was that they could be used as a glider, right? Flying Fish Coast. Yeah, that name checks out. Just came across several flying fish here. That's not a eagle statue. Where is the closest eagle statue? No alpacas here either. No, what was it called? The deer things that look like the legendary from Pokemon X and Y. None of those here either. I don't know if I like the changes in the spawn locations very much because, like, not even a starting mountain in the starting area. So you have to walk all this way. Yeah. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes in. What?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. It's a new thing. So it's like a clear all the waves kind of challenge. Feathered? Oh. Dog coin? Okay. The dog coins are pretty handy. Like, I don't think you get much of those early game, if any, but the feathered hairband. No, it's an epic one, never mind. I mean, it's still just a feathered headband, but for someone that's still in the starting area, that's pretty handy. The dog coins, huh. I don't think I got much of them, because I had to keep... Like, how did I farm for these in the pre-release? I don't think I did. Because didn't Mimog or whatever that dog mimic thing is, didn't it have to be a certain level for it to drop the coins? at all. There we go. Diary number 2. And I'm level 12. Hmm. Kativa's trust increased to 3. Oh my god, what the hell is happening to my head? Am I getting a headache now? Of all times? Why? Come on, I'm not that tired. Wool. No, there has to be a alpaca around here somewhere, right? Because they also drop... unless it's just a random item in the ground. So they either don't spawn here or they're just really rare now. What the hell is that? It's not even on the map. Oh, lagged for a moment. Journey Junkie Wanderer. Wow. Are you looking for a dungeon too? Guess we've got the same adventurous streak. No, I'm looking for something to ride. I climbed all the way up here to find one, but no luck so far. So, I'm taking a breather. Speaking of dungeons, have you ever heard of a tomb bat? That pal can actually sniff out the locations of dungeons. Yeah, he was pretty handy in pre-release when I was farming dungeons. If you trade me one, I'll give you one of my favorite items in return. How about a pal for a pal? Pal? Huh. That's not an eagle statue. What is that? I want to go over there, but I don't have anything to ride. And I think I can swim that short distance, though. I don't know if I can climb all the way up there. How about this? There we go. That's only going to be slightly helpful. I don't know, I think I can climb this. Better not be anything dangerous, because if I die here, I'm quite a ways away. There's not a... It's just wood. There's not... There aren't any eagle statues here for... Oh, it's a chest. Worth it. Oh no, that's... That wasn't even it. Marine Echo Bone. It's not even in the inventory. But with the... Wow. No, they did that on purpose. They... Like, Pocket Bear absolutely knew what they were doing there. Just like they do with some of the pals, they absolutely did that on purpose. Cloth outfit schematic. That one didn't have an uncommon. Okay, it's not that much better, but
Yeah.
something. A frag grenade will help, I guess. I don't think I had much use for the grenades I found pre-release.
Hmm? What?
Like, I just liked the guns and the bows. Okay, well, I don't know why I'm just slightly upset, but I guess I have no reason to be upset, right? Like, there is something here. Like, from what I remember in the pre-release, there were no, like, coral reefs back then. Or if there were, they weren't this common. Like, I don't think this area had this. But the ocean seemed to be more or less the same. It's, like, pretty empty. Really no reason to go out there and swim. I can't ride those, right? They're living gliders, basically. But I need a ride. I feel like an eagle statue here would have been nice. Like, there are two eagle statues right here, really close to each other. But for some reason, this big area, you have to walk or just swim across here, I guess, and just go to that eagle statue in the village.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Hope you're entertained by this future me. It's more or less an uncut journey. Jolthog. Wow, they... So where do you find them then? Where do you find Cremus? Where do you find Vixie? Desperate Farmer. Your quest was that you needed a water pal, right? Oh, I haven't seen you around here before. Say, would you mind doing me a favor? If you have a... I don't know why I'm doing this voice. If you have a pal that can water crops, could you give it to me? There used to be plenty of water pals around here, but there aren't many left. Some shady group came through and took nearly all of them, including my hard-working little pal who always helped me with my fields. Well, at least you still have your chickpea. Lend me a hand and I'll make sure you're properly rewarded. Pal's blessing. Crafting pal gear. Oh, the submissions. Special dish. Mozzarella cheeseburger. Request from a veteran hunter. My bosses. Give the wanderer a tomb bat. Pelt armor schematic number 2. Well, that actually could be useful. But you could find that, right? Like, if I remember correctly, like my dungeon runs, I found several armor schematics in the rare or epic class. But for a beginner, that's fine. Pal's blessing. Give the farmer a pal suited for watering. If you got a pal that's good at watering, could you let me have it? Sure, I could haul water from the river myself, but pals just seem to have the magic touch. The vegetables always grow bigger and happier with their help. Please lend me a hand, will you? It's the spit. It's the spit that comes with the water they spit out. That's the magic touch. Stout fruit. Precious fruit that is extremely difficult to obtain. Slightly increases a pal's defense. Right, I guess that's an appropriate enough reward. slightly increases defense. Okay. Mm-hmm. Shift the... Oh. Applied Kindling Handbook. A rare book written about the secrets of kindling. Allow a pal to read it permanently. Increases their kindling affinity by... Increases their kindling affinity by 1 plus. By plus 1. Hmm. Semantic. Training manual. Experience to a pal. Hmm. But, like... Well, that's fine, I guess. I mean, that's the thing about this universe, right? There's a lot of, like, pretty... In fact, these... Yeah, no, like... It's sort of post-apocalyptic, in a sense, I guess. Like, you'll see these modern-looking things, like these plastic pens, you see pencils, and these normal-looking folders and binders mixed with a bunch of, like, worn-down furniture, stuff that looks really old, and then stuff that looks more modern. Like, they are...
What?
How do I describe this nicely? Like, I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. Where's the guy that needs this? Nope, submissions. Special dish. What? Track that. Oh.
Yoy. Hip.
Oh, okay. No. So climbing a ladder is like climbing a cliff? Okay.
What? What?
I mean,
Yeah.
not the biggest deal, but like I said multiple times in the first play, you know, full release. What's this? Is that for me? It smells absolutely wonderful. Thanks, I'll savor every bite. Hey, pal tamer. There's hardly anyone around here now, but before the Rain Syndicate came, many more people lived here. Because of them, my income has really taken a hit, you know? Don't ask me for money. If you're in trouble, let me know. As long as you pay, I'll do anything. Oh, okay, just looking for work. Wait, that's it? Oh, I have to go back to the lady. Okay.
What?
I was about to get mad there for a moment. I thought I was going to be left unpaid. Pal Ecological Researcher. Nice to meet you. I'm researching pal species and conducting an ecological survey, including unidentified species in this area. You have a Palpedia, don't you? Would you mind showing it to me for reference? If you manage to catch more species, I'd be happy to reward you for your efforts. Would you be willing to help me with my research? I don't know why I bother doing these voices. Like, it's all just deep nasally voices. Like, why do I even bother? Special dish back to the... Okay, I'm gonna pass by there anyway. Huh. It's these two again. Oh, I remember the jellyfish pals. I do want, well, one of each of them. So I'll get them when I get the fishing rod. Alright, I remember you. Let's talk to you. Humph. I am the chief judge of the World Pal exhibition. I came to this region to see Liftmuck, but it got away. I will give you the honor of showing me Liftmuck. You may thank me later. You give me the honor of showing you something? Sure. So that's the Alpaca King boss, right? Like, I think his name actually is Alpaca King. Like Alpaca King. But there's no... I don't know how much I like this change. Like, not only is it hard to find a pal that... It's much more difficult or tedious to find a pal that you can use as a mount to get around quicker. It just feels less diverse to me. Like this whole like yellow forest here. I don't know there's an actual proper term to describe like forests like these. I guess autumn forests? Yeah, I'll just use that. Like this whole autumn forest here. I've seen nothing but jolt hogs. That's it? That's the only pal that lives around these parts? I know we just got some exposition from the farm where they, oh, there used to be a lot of pals here, but there aren't that many anymore. But still just one species, just gameplay wise. Maybe have some cremis running around at least. Because it really does seem like they don't spawn here anymore. Hmm. There's a rush ore there, but that's a different area entirely, isn't it? Now, let me alt tab out. I need to check something. No? I muted myself for a moment there to clear my throat. Just checking to make sure I actually unmuted back. Now that dual monitor setup is feeling more tempting. Okay, Clovey. But again, this is practically a different area. And there's another Jolt Hog over there, so that's... I did accidentally change some settings. Oh. Crowajiro? Okay. Or Crojiro. I think it's Crowajiro. Or Crowajiro. However it's pronounced. They're here now. Okay. Maybe that is a nice change after all, because... Yeah, I don't think these spawn here. I remember they spawned in the yellow forest, the autumn forest. I'm just gonna keep calling them that because I don't know what they're called. Let's bring you out. Oh, never mind. You killed them. The idol of Palpagos Island. If you bully a Vixie, you best be prepared to become enemies with the whole world. Wow. That took a while. Yeah, okay. I could use a female one as well. Okay, cancel that. Don't. Ow!
Yeah.
Oh, it still beeps to... Hold on, don't go away. I need you. So that's different from pre-release, I think. Like, if the capture rate was already 100%, it doesn't beep anymore. Oh, there's another one. It is unskilled at controlling fire from the moment it is born, and tends to choke on the flames it breathes unintentionally. Foxsparks sneezes are one of the leading causes of forest fires. I remember that last part of the entry. I don't remember that first part, the part where they choke on their own flames. A coward. Ah. Let's get some berries, even though I don't really need them. What? Well, I mean, like, that kind of checks out, right? Like, penguins are really fast swimmers, aren't they? So I caught a fox sparks now. I'll make the flamethrower just to complete the quest, but I'm not gonna use fox sparks like, for that purpose. You're not gonna aggro on me? Didn't these things... No, I guess it was just because I was in Sakurajima when I first found them. Like, I remember these things aggroing on me all the time. I guess it's just because of their high level. Hey, I did the thing.
Oh.
So the pals can resist the smell of my special dish after all. They didn't... Like, they were attacking me, but for different reasons. But sure. Whatever makes you feel better. But I really appreciate you getting it there safely. Thank you so much. I got 5 of those. Okay. They only last for 20 minutes, but isn't this hard? I'll treasure it. I think these are pretty hard to make. Like, you need Obviously, you need the meat from the mozzarella, which is just a cow. But you need meat from the mozzarella, you need lettuce and tomatoes, I believe, and you also needed bread. That's a lot. It doesn't feel worth it. Grab some of these on the way back. Get that extra XP, and I will need some of these. Not some, a lot of these. I still haven't unlocked the that thing that the machine that feeds pals to other pals. I forgot what it was called already. The pal condenser, I think that's what it was. I will need a lot of these guys, because I... Mm, I'll need a lot of these guys because I'll need their eggs. I need lots of eggs when I want to make lots of cakes for the breeding farm that I'm eventually going to set up. Oh, okay. So there's the normal level 35 one, and then there's the boss. Like the Alpha Pal. Hmm. Yeah, no, it just doesn't feel that nice. I mean, there is Pupperai, that's something, but like no Melpacas, no Cremis anymore. I mean, you used to be able to get Foxsparks around here. I didn't accidentally change some settings, right? Like I think I set everything to normal, just default normal settings. Huh, I don't know how I feel about this change. I guess if you do manage to find one, it's like more meaningful because they're a lot less easy to find now. So you'll treasure them more and whatnot. Wait, no, the dire howls. Those are also missing. There used to be dire howls in that forest, right? Or around that area. I don't know, Pocket Pear. Like, give me something at least. Like, give me one pal that I can actually ride. And there's no more Night Wings. I guess that would just encourage you to move out of the starting area as quickly as you can. Which I will. Now that I've seen what's missing here and seeing how much I have to travel on foot. I mean, I could have just used the eagle statue there, but I needed to see. Because it felt kind of off-putting that some pals that I very clearly remember being here in pre-release are just gone now. It's just... There are no Depressos here at night either. And what was that other one? The dark type owl pal? Like, those guys are gone here too. Hmm. They did add more pals. So I guess... No, that doesn't make sense. I was about to say they did add more pals, so I guess it kind of makes sense that they would change the spawn locations for some of the existing pals, but why would they do it like this? Like, it feels... Hmm. Alright, whatever. And I'm out of storage. And I'm also out of time. I'm 1 hour over my intended playtime. 1 hour and 40 minutes. I'll get the grappling gun, definitely. But I miss Palworld. I miss... Unlock that for the quest. I miss playing games. Like I said, it's been a week. Like a week and 1 day, I think, since I last played video games. Like any video game at all. I didn't even have... Well, maybe not the time, but just the motivation to play even my mobile games. So I can't really blame myself for I guess for going over the intended playtime of 1 hour. Pelt armor, meat cleaver. Oh yeah, progression's gonna be super fast now. I'll just unlock all of these things. Tidy table set, faux greenery set. Get the metal axe, no pickaxe. Get this and get this and get this. Lock that material. High quality workbench. A slightly higher place. Thanks for emphasizing that you can only go up slightly higher. Bear trap, no use for that, but that would be funny. Oh, okay, that doesn't need... Oh, that's a good change at least. That doesn't need ancient technology points anymore. That kind of... That was pretty silly. Not kind of, it was actually really silly. You need ancient technology points for a bag that you can put food in. But you can make boxes. Just unlock all of these. Oh, well, hold on. Let's slow down a bit. These. The monitoring stand? Yeah, sure. The PAL gear workbench. Attack invading enemies or focus on... Well, this never saw use, like, for me in pre-release, because I'll never understand why you would want them to focus on their work when they're under attack. PAL gear workbench, sure, for the quest. The PAL essence condenser. 20 ingots. And I'm hungry, I heard my stomach growl. Duplicate items. Uh, I, I'll just leave it here, I think. Like, I can already see myself at the beginning of the next video I record, just yapping for another 30 minutes or even an hour. And in that time, I guess I'll make all the stuff that I said I was gonna make. I'll make all the enhanced gear and I'll make more arrows. And then I'll get that quest going. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it here. So I hope you're okay with all of this, future me. if you can still remember all the stuff I said at the beginning, I hope you're okay with the changes that I'm making moving forward. No more silent gameplay videos. It's gameplay videos with bad voiceover audio or nothing at all. But I will leave relatively long periods of silence. I suppose I don't know if I think I didn't spend more than 1 minute or not even 30 seconds of silence throughout the 2 hours and 50 minutes I've been playing. I think I was silent for at most 20-ish seconds before I felt like I needed to say something. I'm not even trying at this point to say stuff. I'm just getting used to the fact that I now have to. How do I say this? I'm getting more comfortable with speaking. I'm still stopping myself every now and then because I lose my train of thought and I rephrase things. And I guess I can't really talk straight like how I normally do because I am trying to absorb all this stimuli in front of me. Like I'm looking at things, trying to be aware of anything that may require my immediate attention. Not like that though. Just Daydream, you've been having problems ever since I got you. Speaking of, before I leave, what can this guy do again? Oh, he can farm. No, he can't. Farming work suitability +1. So you can't use it on. Well, this is a human, but I'm assuming this also applies to pals. So I was right. So each pal, or human, I guess, still has their own set of skills that they can do, and other skills they just straight up cannot do. Because look, this guy has a passive skill that says farming's work suitability +1, but he has no points in farming. I think this is an upgrade from a pre-release, because I believe all the human. I was about to say all the human pals, but it just says here humans are not pals. Like all the humans just had level 1 handiwork in pre-release, but now they have level 2 handiwork as well as level 1 lumbering and mining. So that's something. That just means that it's more use weapon. That just means that you can actually run a whole base. Not a whole base. Maybe have some pals that can farm and transport, but if you wanted a base that was dedicated to lumbering and mining, then you can have these guys occupying most of the slots and handiwork too. Because they only need like that much food. But they're not very useful in combat, right? Like, do their weapons carry over? I think they do, because, yeah, I think their weapons still carry over when you capture them. Like, they'll still have whatever they had equipped. But yeah, it's just not as good as using actual pals. Oh, you're a coward, that's right. Well, you get +5% attack at least. Defense +15%. Depresso chugs an entire energy drink. And that's something I wish I had gotten. You know, if I had money to blow on things that I don't really need, I wish I had gotten the collaboration item between Palworld and whatever that drink company was. You know, the one that had Depresso. Uh, like multiple pals, but Depresso is the one I cared about the most. Oh, this was changed, I think. Farming. Wait, do all Lucky Pals have farming level 2? Sand Tornado, Poison Blast. I will switch out 171, 185, 116. Yeah, it's fine. I will switch you guys out because I do like that. That's pretty useful, I will say. Being able to attack enemies as much as you want and not kill them is very useful. But I just like Depresso more. Sorry, Daydream. I got sidetracked again. It's really tight. I'm approaching the 3 hour mark. This is even longer than the first play. I didn't mean it to be this long. But yeah, I'm gonna have to leave this here for now. So future me, I hope you're okay with all the changes. If you managed to watch this far, which, first of all, thanks for sticking out or sticking around this long. 3 hours listening to this low quality voiceover. Not just in terms of the clarity or just the quality of the microphone or whatever, but just the things I was saying. I think I did a slightly better job at keeping things mostly on topic, at least mostly related to games, especially related to Palworld, because I think most of what I've said after that 30, 40 minute ish, like, intro, if you can call it that, where I talked about what I was planning to do here. I think everything, or most of what I've said after that, is at least related to Palworld or somewhat related to video games, so keeping these guidelines in mind. And I may add more to this if I feel like, if I watch back on this, if I have the time to watch this back later on, and I notice some things that I feel like I should be doing, I'll just go ahead and add them to the guidelines. And some of these aren't even guidelines, like I said in the beginning. But this is fine, right? This is how, like, the evolution of a channel happens naturally, right? For people who just start out. I mean, I have 20 or so videos already, but this is the second time I'm doing a video where I'm actually talking about stuff. And I hope you like the uncut experience still, even though I said I would cut the AFK times, like that. Well, I have to remember to cut that. I'll write a note here, but I don't think I'll do it now. But I hope you still appreciate the uncut journey more or less, because that is the goal here. That's sort of the philosophy I'm trying to work with. Just try to preserve the entire journey from beginning to end with as little cuts as possible. I'll cut out the AFK times and I'll remember to explain what happened, why I cut it, and if I happen to notice anything interesting happening or interesting that has happened, like in the time, like in the footage that I end up cutting, then I'll remember to say things to you. I'll remember to communicate any changes that happen. And I'll try to. I can't promise this because sometimes I just don't feel like. I did this before, like I said in the beginning. I think I did this with the demo for Hope Zero One, where I played more hours of it after recording. But I'll try to record the entire journey unbroken, minus a few cuts here and there. But if I do end up playing this off screen for any reason, maybe I just felt particularly sad or whatever, and I just felt like playing without recording, then I'll explain it to you. I'll remember to write things down and make a note for you. But yeah, I think that's gonna have to do it for now. Before I leave, what mission am I tracking? Let's track that so I at least know what to do. Because if I start the next video without seeing any mission that I'm supposed to be tracking, I might let myself go on and on again. What else? Is there anything else I need to say? No, I think that's it. Alright. Thanks for watching, future me. If you managed to stick around for the entire 3 hours of this recording, then I hope you found a lot of joy in it. And I hope I came off more positive, I guess. Because I really didn't like how I came off in the first play. And again, that might stay unlisted, that might change. Maybe it'll still be unlisted by the time you get around to watching this in like 10 or 20 years from now. Or maybe it'll be part of the public uploads again. I don't know. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with that. But regardless, I am going to leave a link to it in the description of this video when this video comes out. So I don't recommend you watch it because it's not very enjoyable. It's actually quite unpleasant for me, even now, the present me, so what more for you, future me. But if you do want to see it, there will be a link for it in the description of this video. So, thanks for watching, future me. For now, that's all there is to see. You enjoy the rest of your day.